Welcome to DU Digimon.
Hello and welcome to DU Digimon and welcome to another deck profile. If you're liking this sort of content, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and ding that notification bell so you're not missing out on any of the latest content. Now we got a little bit of surprise support in BT22, which was of course for Tyrannomon. I'm not too sure why. Tyrannomon X line did not appear in Cyber Sleuth to my knowledge. It's not appeared in Digimon Liberator, but maybe it does soon. So yeah, we've got an X Antibody line for Tyrannomon, which is really cool. I guess we just needed some green pack filler, maybe. I don't know, but it's pretty good support. It helps kind of add a few more bits to the deck. So let's get into it. So first starting with our eggs, I've gone for the red Koromon BT14 egg still, just to get us that draw whenever we're removing stuff from the security. So just generally helps us with our consistency. And then we've also got one copy of the EX8 Koromon, which just helps us with dealing with kind of small floodgates or just getting rid of that last little rookie after we're trying to clear a board, because we can clear boards quite efficiently in this deck through attacking into our opponent's Digimon, deleting them with our bigger effects, and also this little leg just to pick off anything left behind. Then we've also got our Agumon from EX8, reveals the top 3, adds any Tyrannomon, dinosaur, in Tyrannomon in name, reptile or dinosaur trait Digimon, and one Ryutaro Williams. And Ryutaro is of course one of the most important cards in the entire deck, if not the most important card in the deck. So definitely helps us out and gives us a 2000 DP inheritable as to boot as well. So that's pretty good. Then we've got the Agumon from the other Agumon, I should say, from EX8, because there were two of them. Protag privilege. Anyways, suspends a Digimon on play, but that's not the reason we play it. The reason we play it is that retaliation, which because of some new effects we've got access to, we can use both offensively and defensively, which is really, really cool, and just a nice little way of punishing our opponent if they try and beat us over. Then we've also got the Agumon X from BT22. So this one returns a Digimon card with Tyrannomon in its name or the dinosaur trait from your trash to the hand. And so that's really great for just kind of grabbing back pieces. And also gives you an inheritable. When this Digimon deletes your opponent's Digimon in battle, gain 1 memory, which is not bad at all. If albeit an effect which has appeared kind of a lot in green support, like Safagamon did it, because there was like we had some support, and then we got some more support, and all that support had like, we're gonna delete stuff and gain memory, cool. And then Pulsemon did it, we got some support, and then later on we got some other support, and then that was beat stuff over, gain a memory, and now it's Tyrannomon's turn. We gain memory when we delete stuff in battle. Can we think of more imaginative things to do with green? Maybe, but we're not doing it just yet. Anyways, on to our next one. So we've got Tyrannomon from EX8. This one is our main booster in terms of our DP. It also has a security effect to help us kind of play that out from the security just as a little surprise. It's got the start of main when digivolving effect, and this is where it kind of helps us boosting our DP. Gains 3000 DP at the start of main or when digivolving until the end of the opponent's turn, and gives 2000 DP on your turn as an inheritable as well. So that's a 5k boost on your turn the moment this pushes out of the raising, which is really nice. Then we've got 4 of the Tyrannomon X, and I've gone with 4 of this one because the piercing inheritable is really important, and there is another card that we could gain piercing from, i.e. the EX9 MetalTyrannomon, but I don't play it because it's not as important as the other MetalTyrannomon, and I don't have any copies of it either, so that's also true. But the Tyrannomon X is kind of here for our kind of combo starter. So we go into it, we swing, we start our digivolving up whilst we're going up and everything. And what's really cool about it is when attacking, it counts any Tyrannomon in name underneath it, or X Antibody, which is really, really nice. So even if you digivolve on top of DarkTyrannomon with this, which you can because it does digivolve for 0 on top of a Tyrannomon in name that doesn't have X Antibody in its name, so you'll have that underneath you. Swing in, digivolve up for a reduced cost, piercing as well. We've got the raid as well, which is really, really, really nice. So yeah, I do think this is still the one to have at 4, but I am also playing the new DarkTyrannomon X. We've also got the DarkTyrannomon from EX9, so this one has training, but we never really use it. You place a card in your hand face down as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card. For each of this Digimon's face down Digivolution cards, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then one of your Digimon may attack your opponent's Digimon. So that kind of sets us up for attacking into them, gaining memory, getting some sort of advantage from that, you know. So not bad at all. Also has an on deletion, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamer, so another kind of way of just kind of punishing them if they do decide to delete us, along with stuff like our Fortitude. And then we've got 2 copies of the new DarkTyrannomon X from BT22. Has the same inheritable as the Agumon, so you gain a memory when you delete something in battle. When Digivolving, if DarkTyrannomon X or X Antibody is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. So unlike Tyrannomon X, you must have DarkTyrannomon or X Antibody. Can't be Tyrannomon in name underneath it. To delete a level 4 or lower, but the when attacking, which is very similar to Tyrannomon X's ability, just you don't require the names and the traits and the cards. You just require to swing in, Digivolve up into a Tyrannomon or a dinosaur trait in the hand. You do not reduce the cost, but it's a backup of that effect, so I definitely think it's still a good one to have. I do think the promo is still the better way to go, but I don't think this card is bad at all. I think it's pretty damn good. Then going to level 5s, we've got 2 of the MasterTyrannomon. Fortitude, on play when Digivolving, you may suspend one Digimon. Then if this Digimon is suspended, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8,000 DP or less. Security attack +1 as the inheritable, not bad at all. Then we've got the MetalTyrannomon from EX8, which I do absolutely, I will die on this hill. This Tyrannomon is better than the MetalTyrannomon we got a set later in EX9. It just is. Yes, the new one can technically de-digivolve them more, but that gives you no form of protection. You may suspend one Digimon, then if this Digimon is suspended, de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, and this Digimon isn't returned to hand or deck by opponent's effect, and isn't affected by de-digivolve effects until the end of your opponent's turn. So it gives you that protection, and de-digivolution protection is really hard to come by, and in this meta, I do believe that de-digivolve is going to be one of the most important removal tools around, because there are more and more decks that are just like, haha, you tried to delete me, oh no, get punished. Whereas de-digivolve will always ignore those kind of things. So your Kaguyamons, your Diaboromons, whatever, you de-digivolve them, and it's just, you're not going to gain any advantage from being deleted, buddy, because I've de-digivolved you first. So it is really important, and having that protection, because people will be playing de-digivolve effects around, is also really, really important. Also has a great inherited effect. When this Digimon deletes your opponent's Digimon in battle, trash their top security card, which on top of our piercing is really, really nice. Then we've got the new MetalTyrannomon X, which digivolves on top of a level 5 Tyrannomon in name, so it can digivolve on top of the Master as well. However, it does require MetalTyrannomon in name for its effect, or its antibody in its Digivolution cards. And essentially what the effect is this Digimon gets 4,000 DP until the opponent's turn ends. Then if MetalTyrannomon X or X Antibody is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, one of your opponent's Digimon can't digivolve until their turn ends, so it just shuts off aces. So if they've got an ace target on the field, you're just like, bam, MetalTyrannomon X, shut you off, no aces today, I'm gonna continue doing my thing, let's digivolve again and blow stuff up. And even then, if you're not going to digivolve up into a level 6, having the collision on this, and after gaining a 4,000 DP boost, is pretty damn nice. I mean, this guy's almost a pseudo boss monster in his own right, frankly. He's also got a great inheritable effect, though I do think it could be slightly improved. And it is essentially end of opponent's turn. You may choose one of your opponent's Digimon. Your opponent attacks with the chosen Digimon. The reason why I think that's kind of could be better is if it was a start of main effect, like Slayerdramon from EX3. I get why, because we've got ways of, getting memory when we... Sorry, I'm fighting off yawns at the moment. I'm really, really tired. You've got ways of kind of gaining memory when you delete stuff in battle and you're trashing stuff, and so I get why it's end of opponent's turn for game balance, but a start of main would just be better. But still a great card. And then we've got 4 copies of Dinomon, still our main boss monster. Security attack +1, Fortitude, on play when digivolving, and you may suspend one Digimon, then delete one of your opponent's suspended Digimon with the lowest DP. So do make sure you're using that wisely, especially if you're raiding in with Tyrannomon X, because you don't want to accidentally delete the thing that you're raiding into. Opponent's turn, while this Digimon is suspended, all of your opponent's Digimon can only attack suspended Digimon. And the interesting part of that effect is it doesn't matter if they're unaffected by Digimon effects. this is an effect that affects the player, not the Digimon. So they have to declare, into your suspended Digimon as attack targets. They can't do anything else. Then we've got 3 copies of RustTyrannomon. Collision, Piercing, Blocker. When digivolving, it de-digivolves 4 one of your opponent's Digimon. So anything in its way is going to become a rookie unless it's got an absolutely huge stack, which, to be fair, with Galaxy and CS could be possible. All turns, when your opponent's Digimon are deleted in battle, this Digimon may unsuspend. So that doesn't mean it deletes something in battle. That means if anything is deleted in battle, it's going to unsuspend, or well, at least any of your opponent's Digimon, which is really nice. So the RustTyrannomon is really, really good for that ability to kind of smack into stuff, unsuspend, gain the piercing, so long as you've retained turn, of course. It is a shame it can't go up into our next Digimon, but you could always play it at less copies if you wanted to, but I do like it at 3. Then we've got Omnimon X, who is a 1 of. I'm tempted to try and bump it up to 2, but Omnimon X is... Oh, hang on, I've skipped over something. Omnimon X is cool, but MedievalGallantmon. How could I forget about MedievalGallantmon? God forbid. We all know how good MedievalGallantmon is. It reduces its play cost by suspending stuff. It's got Alliance, it's got Vortex. It's just really oppressive. It instantly becomes target number 1 when it hits the field. The opponent wants to get rid of it, has to get rid of it, so they can continue doing their stuff. We all know how good this card is. I'm not going to go into it too much. The effect is on screen. MedievalGallantmon, absolute MVP. And Omnimon X, to be fair, in that right, is also an MVP. Raid, Piercing, Blocker, it bottom deck stuff, deletes stuff if you've got X Antibody underneath you. But the main thing, of course, is that end of turn, one of your Digimon gains Rush, and then attack without suspending. So, really, really good. Then we've got Ryutaro Williams, of course, who is the most important tamer in the deck, if not one of the most important cards in the deck. Gives you a memory at the start of turn if your opponent has a Digimon. Then, when one of your Digimon with Tyrannomon in its name attacks by suspending this tamer, that Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with Tyrannomon in its name, or the dinosaur trait in the hand with the Digivolution cost reduced by 1. So that is also a brilliant effect. Going along with the Tyrannomon X and the DarkTyrannomon X, just letting us climb up when we're being aggressive, which is really, really good. Then we've got the Cool Boy. Cool Boy is a bit of a controversial pick, I think, because of the fact that it can whiff on our level 6s, and I have potentially thought of a different card I could use instead. Funny enough, I filmed this once already and I accidentally pressed the key that stops recording and it didn't save, so I've had to redo this again. And I realised during that session that one of the better cards could be Analog Youth in this deck, and the reason being is Analog Youth might dump things into the trash, but we can grab most of it back with Agumon X. The only stuff we won't be able to grab is X Antibody and Ryutaro, which could be bad. But, it's about weighing up if that's worse than Cool Boy whiffing on our level 6s. Cool Boy can search pretty much everything else that we might need. Obviously, it can't search anything without X Antibody, but there's a rookie at X Antibody, there's a couple of different champions at X Antibody, there's a level 5, and then our level 7's in X Antibody as well. So Cool Boy is pretty good. He also can help us in a similar way to the way the old kind of Gaiomon list used to work, or can still work if depending on how you build it, where you're attacking in, you've digivolved up into a same level dude, you gain the memory, you gain the draw, and you do it enough times you can retain turn. So you can do that in this deck. The moment we go up into Tyrannomon X or something like that, we gain the memory. The moment we go to MetalTyrannomon X, we'll gain that memory. Obviously, we have to make sure we're doing it before we go up into level 6s. Yeah, Cool Boy's pretty good. And he also helps us with searching the BT9 X Antibody, which is a really good card in this because, it has all that when attacking, we're going to digivolve up shenanigans. So the combo you could do with this is you go to Tyrannomon X then goes into Master or Metal, and then you use X Antibody instead of your Ryutaro to go up into MetalTyrannomon X, and then use Ryutaro to go up into Dinomon or Rust. So that is pretty cool. And the other great utility of the BT9 X Antibody as well is if you've used your Fortitude, you could slot this underneath your Dinomon and make that Fortitude live again. So it is really, really cool to have that, and it's why I've gone for 4 copies of it in this particular build. Yeah, that is the build, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. You could always play this in a little bit more of a green kind of way. I had potentially, I had come up with some potential lists for that, but because I'm quite pressed for time tonight on filming this, I've decided not to go over them. But you could play more green stuff, like, you know, you could put Quartzmon in, you could use green memory boost instead of Cool Boy. You can play this deck in a lot of different ways. It's just trying to balance it because your colors are kind of all over the place. We really, it would be great if there was a red green memory boost, honestly. Just if there was a red green memory boost, that would be so good. You could use maybe the purple green one. That's not a bad shout, actually, saying that. But then you've got no purple Koromons and no green, you know, only one green Koromon. So then you've still got that issue. There's always little issues. If there was a red green one, it'd be perfect. Garnet is great, but Garnet won't search any of your purple dudes. You could not play the purple dudes, but I like the purple dudes. And these, especially these newer ones, you could potentially get rid of this one, I think, but these newer ones I think are phenomenal. But anyways, that is the deck, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. You know, what other decks from BT22 you guys playing and looking forward to playing once the set officially releases next, well, this week by the time you guys are seeing this. You know, so you know, just let me know. Like, subscribe, ding that notification bell, and we'll see you again on the next video. But until then, keep it digital.